The old divines are finally returning. Well, probably, because we got this post from the DML Facebook page earlier today. I did post this in the community tab as well, but just in case anyone hasn't seen it, here it says, missing the divines? It's been so long since the last time divine dragons roamed in Dragonlandia. Maybe it's time for them to awaken again. Looking eyes, what do you think, trainers? So this looks like a teaser for an upcoming divine something or other, and a few people actually have been speculating that this was coming, because a few of you did also notice that during the Dragon's Delight event, when you are feeding dragons, it gives you dragons that you already own, and sometimes it'll give you other dragons that you don't own. And right now you'll see that Freyja is appearing in one of those slots, and in the past they've included dragons that appear in the Dragon's Delight event, and they're dragons that are going to be appearing in upcoming events. So people seeing Freyja sort of hanging around in the Dragon's Delight event made a few people think, oh my god, is it divine event time? Is it divine event time? But that on its own was a little bit sketch. But including this post here, it's looking like a new sort of divine event with the old divines is going to be returning. Of course, we don't really have a lot of other information to go on right now, but the main reason why lots of people are excited about this is because if you're someone like me, say, if we head on into my shop, then you may notice that a lot of people are very close to some of the divines from like the old days. Like, for example, that Poseidon, I'm 11 pieces away, although, you know, we had Zeus a second time, I still didn't get any closer to him. But Chang'e, I'm at 96 out of 120, Osiris 97, Seth 95, and you know, if these events give you a chance for a full drop, if that's possible, you might end up getting some of the others. And since Freyja's displayed, Freyja was obviously the major award for the old divine event, so if there's a way to get those special, you know, exception dragons, that's going to be exciting to people, because, you know, Freyja's still a good dragon. Even Hathor's still a good dragon. The old divine exceptions are still decent, because, you know, any dragon that can bless, that's still pretty good. So if it gives us a chance to get pieces for all of these leftover divines, chronos, I think a lot of people are probably going to be quite excited. And, you know, with how powerful the Wander Acceptance combo is, I can see a lot of people looking forward to this divine event. Because, you know, we just had the ancient event, and so people that manage to get an ancient but don't have a divine, for a while it's going to feel like their team's going to suck. But if they can get even a singular divine out of a new event, that's all that they need. That's all that you really need to clear the entire map in DML. 2 dragons, 1 ancient, 1 divine. Obviously, having more than one of each can be useful, but that's all that a player really needs to actually clear the full map. So I am excited for other players that do need a divine. Personally, I don't really need any. It's more so just, you know, a collection thing, dragon collector point thing. But for players that don't have a divine yet, it is big news. Plus, we don't really know how they're going to be released yet. So, you know, I might be being a little hopeful here. But divine calendar event, anyone? Anyone else looking for a divine calendar event? You think if we beg enough, they'll give one? Because if you remember, that is how little old Erlang Shen actually got released originally. He was available in a calendar event, and same with Hypnos. So the calendar events, just like the old ones that we've had, all that you had to do to get them was log in every day, or most days, during the specific time period. So I know that way back when, people were like, ooh, well, that's kind of giving them out for free, isn't it? But at the time, those two, their elements were pretty bad, because it used to be in old DML, it used to be that, you know, plant was supreme, and so was shadow, and so was light. So their elements, even though you could make use of them, they weren't as widely used, and not really as obsessed over as, you know, the plant dragons, the autumns of the world. So the fact that they got buffed did actually make them a pretty good free divine. And, you know, I use Erlang Shan on my main team now. I wouldn't really knock him anymore. Even Nezha back in the day, I used to be like, Nezha? Oof, not sure about that one. And I also use Nezha on my team now. And that's just because DML keeps getting updated. So, you know, things that may have been true in DML a few years ago, not necessarily going to be the case anymore. Dragons changed, sigils changed a lot in-game. But the thing that didn't change, really, was the fact that divines are incredibly useful in a team. It wasn't for the same reason way back when, because the bless was still good, but it wasn't actually necessary. But these days, if you don't have a blesser, you're probably not going to do very well in the sigil map. I say that, but, you know, in this sigil map, you can get through the map just with, you know, Purity Daredevil, some other high damage sigils. Even at this point where, you know, we're dealing with double epics, legendaries plus uncommons, you can still get through most of these fights just with Purity Daredevil or Cruelty if you get lucky. But, you know, One Day Acceptance is just so consistent, which is the reason why it's so picked, and it probably should be picked, because, you know, if you've ever played other games like DML, lots of, you know, turn-based strategy sort of games, pretty much always going to be buffing in the first sort of couple of turns if you're taking on the hard fights. And that's what DML turned into. It just turned into every single battle buff. Buff straight into an attack, everything dies. Except for the dungeon, obviously, because it scales up. And now it's been made impossible to continue on an endless, truly endless run, as far as we're aware. But, you know, I just want to put it out there that since we do not have confirmation of exactly how these dragons will likely be revealed, well, not revealed, actually released again, I would say don't get your hopes up too high, because we don't know how easy or difficult it's going to be. We don't know which ones it's going to be. Are the ones in the screenshot that they posted going to be the ones available? Because what did they actually post in that image? We've got Freyja, we've got Odin, we've got Erlang Shan, and we've got Chang'e. So, are these just a set of random divines? Apart from Freyja, because the fact that Freyja's in that Dragon's Delight makes me think, yeah, that she's probably coming back. But the others, I don't think I've seen them, unless they haven't, I've just not paid attention. But with the others, are they all coming back? Or is this just sort of like a throw some divines in there, get people hyped up for different versions? It does also mean that we've got the major reward dragon in there, we've got chrono dragons in there, and we do have Chang'e in there. So, you know, a lot of possibilities. And since we're done with the chrono timeline, this could be a completely new revamped version of Divine Events, just like the last time it happened. So, honestly, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. And you'll notice that this Dragon's Delight event, I have not been playing it. I realised after missing like 3 resets, I was like, yeah, there's no point, and plus the event's going to end when I'm not at home, so I can't even do the last reset anyway. So I was like, yeah, I don't care about this event. So, some of the events in DML, if you do start to feel a little bit worn out, burnt out, I do recommend that you sit out during them. At least that's my way of dealing with it, because, you know, we just had a massive month-long event. I've got all the dragons bred, so worrying about the Dragon's Delight is not something I really care about right now. You'll see my currency is low, my happy dragons is low. I don't care. Even though there's 2 dragons in this event that I don't have, it was just like I couldn't force myself to wake up before 6 AM for this event when, you know, the scoring amount, well, the amount that you earn per collecting creatures and things like that had been reduced again. I was like, nah, I ain't doing this. At least give me a little bit of a break before the solo event, you know? That's assuming I even do the solo event, because if we do end up getting the new Divine event, which I've got a few Divines, not as many as I could have, obviously, but, you know, when the new Divine event does come, when exactly that's going to be, we're not sure, But they did say that they were going to have an Easter event as well. So is it going to be coming just before the Easter event, or will it be coming just after? My guess right now is just after, but they might just pull an ancient event on us and just throw it at us straight away. So again, right now, lots and lots of questions, not really any confirmations, but, you know, I'm hopeful for people that have been waiting for a divine. So just letting you know that it's probably on the way. If not, then they're certainly hyping people up for something, so whatever that is, I guess we'll find out. But, you know, remember, when you get them, Wonder Acceptance. If you're not putting Wonder Acceptance on your divines, it's bad. Look, I only say it because I want you to be able to progress further. Wonder Acceptance is too broken at the moment to not be using it. It's just the way things be in DML right now. Not all of them have to have both sigils, obviously, but, you know, you need at least one dragon with Wonder Acceptance to get the ball rolling. So, for now, I do appreciate you being here. I forgot the Sunspot was in there. I'll deal with him another day. But, for now, let me know which divines you are intrigued or interested in getting. And until next time, I do hope to see you then.